All right, I think they're getting ready to name the basketball players that should be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. The NBA probably got one of the weaker Hall of Fames. I believe the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame is the accumulation of your whole basketball career, like college and in the NBA. So it's the one of the weaker Hall of Fames, in my opinion, man. Major League Baseball may have the most prestigious one. The NFL is more prestigious than NBA. But Ben Wallace missed out last year. I think it was his first year eligibility. Just missed out. So, hey, I did a video. Hopefully it can get out there. We get some push for Ben Wallace to get in. But we back. Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email. All the links in the description. Share the videos. Best way to donate to the channel. Now, I don't know if people are aware of it, but Ben Wallace didn't get in. He got a comparable resume to Dikembe Mutombo. I was watching the Jump, and Mutombo got like 4 more All-Star appearances. When you talk about, Defensive Players of the Year, Ben Wallace had 4, and a lot of first-team NBA All-Defense and stuff of that nature. And, Ben Wallace was a guy that, was hard-working, cleared the glass, anchored the middle of Detroit defense for years. And when he left, the team wasn't the same. They tried to place him with like Nazr Muhammad. And, even though they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron went off on them. People think that Ben Wallace was part of that team. And I had to prove people wrong. I don't know how they can tell an avid Piston fan that he was wrong. But Ben Wallace wasn't there. And if Ben Wallace didn't take the money in Chicago, I believe that messed up his career too. Where, Scott Skiles didn't let him wear his headband. And they was being real anal over there. So, Ben Wallace should have stayed here. It was a good fit, kind of like Ndamukong Suh. Even though Suh did make it to a Super Bowl, but it was a good fit. You know what I'm saying? I think Ben might have made it to the NBA championship too. But it was a good fit, and Ben pretty much messed the dynasty up with the Pistons. I feel the Pistons should have paid him whatever he wanted. And Ben showed to be a very, very integral part, but he was all heart. The retool and the rebuild of the Detroit Pistons coming off those Grant Hill years and, Jerry Stackhouse, it was Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was probably the most important part because he enabled dudes to take chances on the perimeter. He manned the middle. He did all the dirty work. And you know what? This dude was like 6'7", and he was the only dude, like Kendrick Perkins said today, that I ever seen stand up to Shaq. Dikembe Mutombo was getting treated like a rag doll. Shaq legitimately couldn't move Ben Wallace, and Ben Wallace held his own. He was an integral part of the going to work Pistons winning that championship. And, Rodman, he did some good work versus Shaq back in the day, but on that stage, Ben Wallace shined, man. And Ben Wallace got his off the rebound and defending and holding big guys like Shaq down. And he was legitimately the eraser for the Detroit Pistons, man. And, he deserved to get in the Hall of Fame. I understand Kevin Garnett, Kobe, a lot of guys, Tim Duncan. I don't know how many guys can get in. But Ben Wallace should definitely be, as a cancellation prize, he should definitely be part of that class for 2020, in my opinion, man. That's going to be a historic class. But Ben Wallace, man, was a dog, man. And I just one thing I hate that he left. And if he stayed, I think the Pistons probably would have beat the Cavaliers that year, man. And I think they might have chanced to beat the San Antonio Spurs and win 2 titles, man. But let's hope Ben Wallace get in there, man. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, man. Remember, this is a guy that came out of Alabama, Virginia Union, a guy that it started, with the trade for him. Nobody knew nothing about him. We got Rip, we got Chauncey, we got Tayshaun, and the Pistons have retired his number, and eventually Sheed and Corliss Williams. We got a lot of cast stars, Mehmet Okur, a lot of guys that people didn't want on their team, man. And Ben Wallace was the nucleus. Not saying he was the best player out of all of them, the most talented, but I feel that he was the most important player. And when you're talking about blue-collar, going to work, he embodies everything that the Bad Boys was about, and that's what the city of Detroit is about, and the going to work Pistons is about. Ben Wallace embodies that, man. And Ben Wallace definitely deserves to be a Hall of Famer, and hopefully he can get in 2020. He just missed out in 2019, but he deserved to get in before Sean Marion. Let me say that. Duncan, KG, Kobe, that's a hell of a class right there. So hopefully Ben Wallace blessed enough to be a part of that. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business questions, queries, sponsorship, video requests. Don't forget to check out the channel out for more sports, music, entertainment. Goodfellas Sports TV is the name of the channel. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. We gone.